We are gaveling the convention to order. My name is Hunter Baker. I'm the chairman of the board of Braver Angels. And so we're beginning our business tonight. Now, my first order of business is to welcome all of you to the convention. On behalf of Braver Angels, I would like to thank you for your deep commitment to the kind of civic virtue our republic desperately needs in order to flourish, by treating each other fairly, by resisting the impulse to demonize opponents, and by practicing accurate disagreement. We vastly improve our chances of having constructive conversations and engaging in a true form of politics rather than destructive demagoguery. One of the wonderful things, thank you. One of the wonderful things about Braver Angels is that it doesn't ask anyone to check their convictions or to commit to an endless quest for the middle. Instead, the movement encourages us to discipline our hearts and minds and to never forget that the people on the other side of the argument are human beings just like us who should be heard, understood, and engaged. Like many of you, I have been a partisan. I continue to be one, and I am grateful for the discipline, humility, and hope that being part of Braver Angels has encouraged me to practice in all aspects of my life. When David Blankenhorn looked me up while driving through Jackson, Tennessee several years ago, he introduced me to the beginnings of this movement and enriched my life. So I briefly want to thank David for his incredible patriotism and humane spirit. The United States of America is blessed to have one who has so passionately pursued the common good without being a prisoner of ideology. And I should say, by the way, that we could say absolutely the same about many of the other people who have been essential to this work, Bill Doherty and others involved in the work of this organization since the beginning. Now, in a few moments, I will begin the business of nominating officers to help us run the convention. But first, I'd like to introduce Gettysburg Mayor Rita Freeling. Mayor Freeling is the first African-American and first woman to serve as mayor of the city. She studied political science at the Penn State University, attended law school at Dickinson, and has a substantial record of public service at the county and state level. Let's thank Mayor Freeling for joining us.
Good evening. You know, I also have to add this. Just hear that boom? I was also a Penn State cheerleader. And somebody said, you're still a cheerleader as mayor. Because what does a mayor do? See, got trained. So as mayor of Gettysburg, I am very pleased to welcome you as you're here to bring America together and to hold it together. One of my favorite monuments here is the Eternal Light Peace Memorial. It's right down Emmitsburg Road, within striking distance here. And at the base of it, it says, Peace Eternal in a Nation United. And it symbolized the coming together of North and the South after the Battle of Gettysburg. And I think that's what you're trying to do, is get us peace eternal in a nation united. But while you're here, I have to promote my town. Take time to stroll the streets of Gettysburg, and it's also called the best-known small town in the world. It is well known for 3 events in American history: the Battle of Gettysburg, Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, and it was the home of Dwight Eisenhower and his wife Mamie. It was the only home they ever owned outside of Gettysburg. The streets of Gettysburg have echoed the shouts of heroes, the work of a president, and the accolades of dignitaries. Visit the Eternal Peace Light, as I said, and remember, as we approach the nation's 250th birthday, it was the Battle of Gettysburg that was the turning point of a war that almost destroyed this great union. We are facing another political divide, and your group is working to end it or to mend it. We must all work together to preserve this great democracy. And as I said, I quote a local historian who said, remember, the Union was born in Philadelphia, but it was preserved in Gettysburg. So you're here to preserve the union again. And also, as I said, I'm going to promote my town. You're not going to be working all the time. We have fabulous shops and restaurants downtown, guided historical tours, and yes, ghost tours. And you have the Gettysburg National Military Park, the new visitor center. I still call it the new visitor center. Is fabulous. It's just stunning to go there. And we also have a new Adams County Historical Museum. So again, welcome to Gettysburg, and I hope you all have the opportunity to enjoy our historic town. And I think the most important thing, what you're working for, to quote Lincoln, it's that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from this earth.
Thank you, Mayor Freeling. Now, at this time, on behalf of the board, I would like to offer nominations for our convention officers who will help us carry out the business of our various meetings. For the sake of expediency, I'm offering their nomination as a slate. So I will name the people, the office, and give just a very brief bio. First nomination is for V. Cangiano to serve as secretary. V is a leader with Braver Network, a member of the Connecticut Alliance Steering Committee, who would serve as the convention secretary who will document all the proceedings. April Lawson is the leader of Braver Angels Debates, and she would serve as the convention's parliamentarian responsible for advising on rules and procedures. She has already advised me to some degree. We also have Erica Manuel, who would be co-chair of the convention meeting. She is CEO and executive director of the Institute for Local Government, with the simple mission of helping 2,500 cities, counties, and special districts to help run local government better. And finally, the other co-chair, we have Wilk Wilkinson, husband, father, Christian conservative, and host of I think that's De-Rate the Hate podcast. So this is the group. What I would like to do is just efficiently to ask for a first and a second on this group's nomination. Okay, thank you. We have a second. Great. And if we could just approve these, I would love it. Can we just give a verbal aye assenting to the election of these officers? I think that with that, I can retire. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome, everyone. It's great to be with you here tonight. Very honored to be here with the rest of my Braver Angels brothers and sisters. It's a beautiful thing. And I am Wilk Wilkinson, host of the De-Rate the Hate podcast.
I'm Erica Manuel, CEO and Executive Director of the Institute for Local Government.
We're very honored to be the co-chairs of this 2023 Braver Angels Convention. It's incredible to see so many faces out here right now, that many that I've seen and even spoke with on the on Zoom, right? We all spend so much time on Zoom working together, and yeah, just it's an incredible feeling to actually get here in person. First convention in 3 years. So yeah, very, very incredible.
So we realize that some of you, many of you, may not know each of us individually. So thank you for certainly for allowing us to co-chair this convention together. And hopefully we will have time to spend together over the next few days, getting to know one another, getting to know each other's stories. We did want to start with just a little introduction of each of us so that you know a little more about us. We'll have a leg up on you, and we hope you will share yours with us. I'm happy to go first, though I do want to offer that to my co-host first.
Absolutely, go ahead.
All right. As you might have heard, Erica Manuel, I hail from California. I am with the Institute for Local Government, and I'm a little bit nervous, and I'm a little awe-inspired, and I'm grateful, and I'm humbled, and I'm especially honored to be able to serve in this role at this event, doing this important work with you. I normally spend my 4th of July in California at a backyard barbecue, but this year I was able to come to the East Coast and spend Independence Day in our nation's capital. And I saw what so many people have seen from television. I got to experience that firsthand, and it crystallized for me why we're here, what we're doing here today, and why it's so important that we have this opportunity together to break bread, to communicate, to battle it out verbally, to really have crucial conversations and to come out better for it. We saw the fireworks over the memorial and the Capitol. I saw people of all different walks of life, Black, brown, old, young, all different walks of life, all different languages, sharing in that experience together, celebrating our country. I had the privilege of walking a little bit beforehand and seeing the National Archives, and I saw a plaque that just, it stuck with me. And it's resonated with me so much. And you'll hear this from Wilk. Wilk goes off the cuff. I am type A, write it down, plan it out, man. I have no notes today. So bear with me for the next 3 days. We don't know what we're doing. But let me just tell you that come along with us on this journey. The National Archives, there's a plaque. And if you go there, you'll see it. It's amazing. And I had to take a picture of it. And it says, "Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty." And that is what we are doing here. We are being vigilant because we have all seen that something is not right. We live in the greatest country in the world, and it is broken, and it needs a little help, and we are helping it together. We are fighting in the way that we know how to fight, with the words, with the love, with the humility, with the dignity, with the inspiration that we all bring, and with our opinions, and with our ideals, and with our values, and with our hope. So I am honored to spend any time with you, and certainly honored to share this co-chair role with Wilk, who I've gotten to know over the many weeks, and excited to just, laugh a little, maybe disagree a lot. We're going to talk a lot about things we don't agree on, and it's going to be phenomenal. And I hope you all do the same thing. I'm grateful. I'm gracious. I am honored again, and so excited to spend a couple days with you in Gettysburg.
My co-host Erica is one incredibly hard act to follow. She is awesome. So, yeah, I am honored to get to spend the time with you all, as I said in my brief opening. But the bigger thing is to piggyback on what Erica has just said. There are so many things in our country right now that are fractured. This chasm that we see between people of differing mindsets, the things that people used to be able to talk about in everyday conversation now lead to these overwhelming arguments or sometimes fractures in families or lifelong friendships, things that we would be able to talk about in the neighbor's driveway drinking a cold beer now just don't happen. People don't talk to each other the way that they used to. We have taken politics, so many people have taken politics and entered that into their soul, part of their core identity. And every time somebody says something in contrast to what they believe, they turn it into a personal attack. Those are the kind of things that we need to get past. We need to have those conversations, ask questions, be genuinely curious, as our good friend Monica Guzman says, and ask the questions, have the conversations. These are things that I talk about on the Derate the Hate podcast. My Braver Angel story began just shy of 3 years ago, I guess, when Rick Hodgner and Barbara Thomas, two good friends, the Braver Angels that are in this room right now, they came to me because of my podcast and said, "Have you ever heard of Braver Angels?" I had no idea what the organization was. They knew that I had a heart for bringing people together because of what I do, and I've been eternally grateful to them ever since. The things that I've got to do with this organization and the things that I have learned, the growth that I have had as a person, just being part of this organization has been absolutely incredible. It's one of the great honors of my lifetime, and now getting to co-chair next to Erica, just incredible. So all of you people out there are the ones that make this happen. This truly is a grassroots movement. It truly is a movement of the people, and I am just honored to be a part of it with you all. So thank you very much.
So we have a very, very scripted and structured program for us over the next few days. There's a lot of amazing things that are going to happen, but we also want to make sure you get to know each other, that we get to know each other. And so we'll definitely, I'll definitely be ribbon Wilk a little bit. I'm from California. He's from Minnesota. We've got to play a little bit of that part. And he has a podcast, so he's a pro at this. So he likes to be on the hot seat. So I love that he mentioned one little thing about how, he says he's a redneck, and he says it, self-proclaimed redneck from Minnesota. This is not my word. This is his. There's a perception that I'm California and that I might be either, a high-tech billionaire or a Hollywood darling. I am none of those things. In fact, California is incredibly diverse, incredibly, I think, complicated. And it's a lot more purple than you think. It's a lot more left and right and all the things. And people are on a continuum of I think, policy positions. And they really live in their neighborhoods and they live in their communities and live with their lived experience. And so we're definitely going to play up sort of what we're seeing, how we're seeing it. And we hope that you take the time as well over the next few days to have those kinds of conversations with the people sitting next to you. It's definitely in our spirit. But we want to actually kick off with some basics.
Yeah, we'd like to start off with some basics. First, you can find the formal convention rules in your packet. Nothing too surprising, but they're there if you want to see them. No eye gouging, no biting, none of that kind of stuff, right?
Be nice to one another.
Be nice to one another.
Please, let's model our own values. Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll want to keep that handy as well, so you know about all the great things that we've been planning. We've had an incredible team here working incredibly hard to put all this together for you. There's a lot going on, and so you want to keep that packet handy.
Along those lines, before we go any farther, can we just thank the amazing Braver Angels team? They have, you all got here, we all got here. The amount of work to pull something this large together is phenomenal. And if you see somebody with a Braver Angels name tag, please thank them along the way. I think this is amazing so far. And I just want to make sure they know from the beginning how grateful we are.
Absolutely. We want to strengthen the relationships and increase passion about our mission. So what we want to do is we want to share our goals. We've developed participant leadership skills and capacities. We plant the seed of social movement capable of influencing the country.
Yeah. So there's just three, and he said them off. I'll repeat them again. We strengthen relationships and increase passion about the mission. We develop participant leadership skills and capacities. We plant the seed of a social movement capable of influencing the country. That's why we're here. That's what we're doing for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
So no small feat.
No, very lofty goals, but we got an incredible crew here, an incredible participatory crew here to do it. We've got great things ahead. What I want to do now is I want to introduce a great American, one of the great leaders here in the Braver Angels organization, Bill Doherty, to the stage.
All right. Thank you. Whoa. Do we have some impressive officers here? So how many of you have already met somebody who is different from you politically? Yeah, okay. So we're going to do a little warm-up introduction exercise here. I'm going to ask you to think about why you came. And then I'm going to ask you when I say go, we have a large crowd here, so you're going to have to follow these directions closely. So when I say go, you're going to introduce yourself to somebody with a different color lanyard who you did not come with. Not yet. And you're going to do that for 4 minutes. And then I am going to blow a whistle. And when I blow the whistle, you as a pair are going to find another pair to introduce yourself to, tell your stories for about 6 minutes. And then I'm going to blow the whistle again, and then you're going to sit down. And then we're going to ask a few people who would like, with a microphone, to introduce yourself to the whole crowd. So we're going to get to know each other a little bit. So the first step, if you are able to stand, would you stand? Okay. And if you're near aisles, feel free to go into the aisles. And when I say go, shh, not yet. Chaos breaks out. Don't do it yet. Hey, guys, turn around. Turn around. Look at me. Everybody look at me. Thank you. Chaos breaks out. When I say go, but I'm not saying it yet, you're going to find somebody who didn't come with a different color lanyard. You're going to spend 4 minutes introducing yourself, saying what you can, which means you don't spend 3.5 minutes yourself. Okay, like sharesies. Okay, and then I'm going to blow this annoying whistle. And the second I blow the whistle, you're going to stop talking mid-sentence and find another pair for 6 minutes. And then I'm going to blow the whistle again, and then you'll stop, and then we'll have a few extroverts who want to introduce themselves to the group. Okay? So are you ready? Are you ready to do this? Okay. Go. Sit down. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. Shh. All right. Shh. Shh. Thank you. All right. If you're like me, when the whistle goes off, I need to finish my last profound thought. So how many met somebody interesting? Oh, I'm looking for who did not raise their hand. I'm just sitting next to them. So you kind of had to, didn't you? That wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. Okay, so we're going to ask a few of you. There'll be a couple mics walking around to introduce yourself to the whole crowd. You know, in a group, there are already 500 of us here out of the 650 who have already shown up. And there's more buses coming in. So it's amazing. 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 So where are our microphone holders? Could you raise your hands? Where are you guys? Okay, one there, and who's, okay, back there. So in a group this size, there are about 15% of you, like me, who are extroverts, who think other people are dying to hear why you came. Okay, it helps make the world go. And so starting in the backside over there, would somebody raise your hand and just say you'd like to introduce yourself to the group and say why you came? Oh, see, there's an extrovert right there. Go for it.
Hi, everybody.
Tell us who you are.
I'm Jennifer Elam.
From?
I live in Berea, Kentucky.
Okay, and you're here because?
I'm here because it gives me hope. There's extreme polarization in both my family and my faith community, and it gives me hope.
Yeah, thank you. A little applause there. And who do we have on this side with an open mic? So could somebody over here raise your hand and say you'd like to introduce yourself to the group? Here we go. Going to pass that along. So we need the mic working, yeah. Okay, try it again. Okay. That didn't work either. So we'll come back over here, and then we'll get the mic going. So back over this side, could we have somebody else over here? So our microphone person is going to have to find you.
Testing. Oh, wait, it is.
All right.
Come in now.
Patience, but I had him already sitting down. That was your chance. Okay, go for it.
My name is Don, and I am an extrovertaholic. No, I'm Don Bird from Indiana, and I came because it's much easier.
It's the microphone's a problem. It's much easier for
much easier for me to come, but to not come. To not come would because the country needs fixing so badly, and I can do it. I mean, I can help.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Only I can.
Thank you. All right. So let's go over this side. We have somebody here. So it's the microphone. I'm not going to call on you. I'm calling on the mic. Okay, go for it. Not all mic, by the way. There's other names permitted. Yeah.
Liam McCone. I'm down from Vermont, although I remain a Texan because I was born there.
Well, because you're an ethnic Texan. Yes.
We've recently started forming a group within Braver Angels of the military and the veterans. And I was doing groups of.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm ex-Army myself, and I was doing alliances in Vermont of 10, 12 people in the library, and I thought, let's go for the juggler. Let's go for the big numbers. And kind of the dividing line is every one of us took an oath to defend the Constitution and the Republic. And I think we can kind of draw on those people and say, okay, what does that mean to you? So anybody that is a veteran, I'm set up in the second table in the gymnasium. So come visit us and get signed on.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So over this way. So somebody raise your hand. So and we'll see if this mic works. So we're being unfair for this side of the room with a defective mic. Go for it.
Is this working now?
Yes.
Yep. I'm John Kerr. I am an introvert.
You have a fan club here, obviously. You didn't do that when I was introduced, but keep going.
Seriously, I am from Massachusetts, but I'm originally from Northern Ireland, and I think I have some bona fides when it comes to knowing about polarization.
Yeah.
And I don't ever, ever, ever want to live in that kind of society again. Yes. So I'm here to not only pick up some hints and tips from everybody for how to make the newsletter more effective in doing the job that we're all here to do, but also to help to broker connections. And I'm already making phenomenal connections around the room.
Yeah,
so
beautiful.
thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. We'll do, thank you. Thank you. We'll do just a couple more so you have somebody, yeah. Oh, she just handed that to you. Yes.
Hi, my name is Sabrina Garland. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, but currently living in Switzerland.
A little bit closer to your mouth, yeah.
Yes, hello. So I currently live in Switzerland, and I'm here with my co-chair for the Braver Angels Abroad Europe chapter, or Alliance. Yeah. So we're both here to share more about what we're doing. And then here on a personal note, I think living abroad, you hear a lot of people talk at you about how bad the country is. And I'm really glad to be able to go back and say, no, there's a lot of really good stuff happening and a lot of good people working on it.
Good. Thank you. Okay. So one more.
All right. Well, good evening. My name is Emily Jacobs. I come from Washington State. Thank you.
Another fan club, yes.
But, Bill, I'm from Minnesota originally.
Well,
so,
Minnesota.
Come on, Minnesota.
Okay.
I'm here kind of for two pieces. So I live in a relatively conservative part of the state. So our alliance has good red representation. Mm-hmm. But I know as a national organization, there's opportunities to grow. Mm-hmm. So I want to learn a little bit more from each other and how we can do that. Mm-hmm. And I also feel like we are such a skills-based organization, and I love our workshops. But what more can we do for alliances as we're creating these communities of practice? Mm-hmm. And so again, I want to learn from other alliances. I'm pretty excited about what we're doing, but I want to grow that. Mm-hmm. So
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. So we have to move on. But another round of applause for those who are willing to speak and introduce themselves. Okay. So I'll hand it back to our officer.
Awesome. We were just getting our sea legs, right, as co-chairs, and we did a disservice to our great man, Bill. We didn't tell you that Bill is the co-founder of Braver Angels. He's also a professor of family social science and director of the Citizen Professional Center at the University of Minnesota. He is also, there's more, the chief designer of Braver Angels workshops. So with that, can we thank Bill, we won't let you down again.
She won't. I probably will.
Well, I might too, actually. Guaranteed. I take that back. So go ahead.
Yeah. So next, we have a couple of announcements. I think we're at this point, aren't we?
I think we're at this point. Let's do this.
All right. So next, what we want to do is we want to have April come up. Where's April? April, come on up. April Lawson is going to come up and explain what parliamentary procedures are for us.
Yes. And you've already approved April, but you should know that she is the leader of Braver Angels debates, and she's going to serve as our parliamentarian who's responsible for advising on all of the rules and procedures. So when we screw up, she will tell us and also try and keep us from screwing up.
And the rest of you, not just these guys. Yes, I'm your rule person, but I actually want to start with something slightly different, which is I'm going to just take a few seconds and tell you about parliamentary procedure. But the reason I'm telling you about it is because you're a delegate at this convention. You're not an attendee or an audience member or a spectator. You're a delegate. And Braver Angels structures it this way because we're very serious about citizen leadership. And so we use parliamentary procedure and structure this as a body just like Congress or like any of the other big democracies around the world, because you are here as an agent, not just as a passive consumer. So, parliamentary procedure, as probably some people in this room are quite familiar with it, others less so, that's fine. We use it because it's a tried and true system for making sure that people get to have an equal shot at speaking, and that we can, of course, have an orderly conversation in a giant group like this one. And so we're using a modified version of Robert's Rules of Order. I will not bore you with all the intricacies, and I know there are some of you who would love that, but please, yeah, I see you back there. Hold your horses. This is modified, it is simple. We're doing a basic, okay? And so the only thing you really need to know, there will be other points in the convention when I'll come up here and teach you specific ways of engaging, like how to raise a motion, that kind of thing. But for now, the only thing you really need to know is how to ask a question. And so in traditional parliamentary fashion, if you have a question, there are two ways of asking it. You can either say point of clarification or point of inquiry. And what I would recommend you do is raise your hand, and as you're raising your hand, you say for a clarification or on inquiry, something like that. And that'll tell us, oh, you have a question about what's going on here. So we need to address that so that everybody can be part of what's going on. And then the chairs will call on you according to their discretion. You will stand, ask your question, and then they will or will not answer you as they see fit. So that's all you need to know for now, but just wanted to help you understand what it means to be a delegate. That'll be very important for the rest of this experience.
So next, we'd like to invite up Kieran O'Connor, the Chief Marketing Officer for Braver Angels and the Director of this year's convention. He's going to come up to the stage, and he's going to share with you some logistical announcements for kind of throughout the convention. He's going to pop up and just tell you all the things you need to know. So you definitely want to listen to Kieran. He's going to know everything about the convention, where to go, how to get there, when to go there. So you definitely want to hear him, listen to him, and when he comes up, definitely pay attention. So Kieran, come on.
Thank you. Thank you, Erica. Yeah, so my name is Kieran. I've been with Braver Angels for a little over 6 years now. This is my third Braver Angels convention. The last one we did in 2019, we had to take a 3-year hiatus because of COVID. We had a little under 250 delegates. This year we have over 650. Yeah. And just wait till next year. Erica, I appreciate the kind words, but I have to say that I was really part of an incredible team that put this together. So I'd love to just give a big hand to all the volunteers, all the staffers who came together to make this happen. Very appreciated. And just the last personal note I'd say, when everyone was talking to each other, it was a beautiful sound. I just kind of closed my eyes and listened. And I said, that's the din of hope. So just wanted to share that. And yeah, now for some logistics. I'm going to make a few announcements, and I imagine many of you will have questions. Don't ask your questions now. We have an info desk right where you registered, and that will be kind of our one-stop shop to get information. So keep your questions in your head, and after the plenary, you can go to the info desk. First thing you'll notice is that I, along with all of you, are wearing a lanyard. So, in case you didn't know, we've divided people up by blue, which means you lean liberal in your philosophy and you tend to vote for Democrats over Republicans. Red, you lean conservative in your philosophy and you tend to vote for Republicans over Democrats. Yellow, which means other, it means I don't subscribe to either red or blue. And then white, which means exempt, because we have some people here representing organizations, and they have a professional obligation to not identify their political leaning. First things first, bathrooms are right there on the left. Also back there, as soon as you leave on the left, is the Braver Angels bookstore. And as you leave, you might just want to take a left and wander in there. We will be giving out books and merchandise. Everything is being given out. We do ask to consider a suggested donation if you like. You don't have to make a donation. We have books from various Braver Angels leaders. David Blankenhorn's book is available. Monica Guzman's book is available. Some of the fantastic scholars and academics who are leading seminars are giving away books as well as some t-shirts and some hats and swags. We encourage you to walk around there, and also some partner organizations have materials there too. So that's the bookstore. Lastly, the Wi-Fi situation here is a little bit complicated. Some of you may have noticed that. Again, the info desk, we can help you with that if you're still having problems logging on. That area is generally where you can get information. There is also a QR code you can scan to get a campus map on your phone, which is actually really great, because then you have a campus map that's specific to the college, and you can actually search for a specific building on the map, and then it'll pull it up and give you directions. So I definitely recommend that. We do have parking available for all delegates. Please do not park on this block because you will get a ticket. Please do park in the assigned parking lots. And if you didn't get a parking pass, make sure to get one of those. You just need to put it in your windshield, and then you'll be good for your whole time here. Last thing I was told to mention, please do not throw away your key cards when you leave. Please return your key cards and your keys in the folder that was given to you. So after tonight's plenary ends, there's going to be some optional gatherings for those who want to keep the party going, although it's the first night, so don't go too hard. For those who are interested in music, after tonight's plenary performance, there'll be some folks sticking around on stage for a jam session. So if any of you are feeling musical, join that. A bunch of other optional gatherings will be coming together over there afterward. Tomorrow morning, we will be offering breakfast at 7:30 a.m. in the dining center, which is right across the street over there. And the opening plenary starts at 8:30 a.m. sharp. So it'd be great if you guys can all be in your seats before then so we can get started on time. We have a very jam-packed schedule. After tomorrow morning's plenary ends, we'll have a brief break for coffee and refreshments. Any delegates who are going on the Gettysburg Battlefield tour tomorrow, you can go ahead over to the atrium where the dining center is and load onto the bus. All other delegates, come back to plenary and we'll give you directions to go to your breakout sessions that you've been assigned to, which are across campus. After that, we'll have lunch. We'll come back for the afternoon plenary and afternoon breakouts. We'll have dinner, and then we'll have 3 special evening events, which you can look forward to, and I will be there tomorrow to give you more information. So thank you for coming. Strap in and get ready.
So you might have heard this. Every single plenary we do, and a plenary, I didn't know this actually, the plenary is when everyone's all together, right? So this is our first plenary. This is plenary number 1. It's our opening plenary, and they're all themed because the Brave Angels team themes everything because they're brilliant. And the first theme is, are you ready? So think about that, and I'm going to ask Wilk, are you ready? Are you feeling like we're getting somewhere?
I am absolutely ready.
Excellent.
I think this whole country is ready. I think there's an awakening happening, and this awakening has to be brought to fruition. This thing has to be fixed, and we're here to fix it. So are you ready?
Think about that. We are ready, and we're going to hear next from someone who has been working on this for many, many years. We're so excited to introduce David Blankenhorn, who's going to come up and speak to us a little bit about his work and his thoughts and his musings before we close. And if you don't know David, he is the president of Brave Angels.
Give it up for David Blankenhorn. Let's go.
Wow. Welcome to the largest gathering so far this century of red and blue American leaders coming together in equal numbers and on equal terms to bridge our divide and work together to save our country. So let's look around. Remember who's here. Remember this place. Because in coming years, I think we're going to remember, and I think many of our fellow Americans are going to remember, that what we are about to do here it constitutes an important moment for our country. We're meeting on sacred ground, consecrated ground. In 1863, almost exactly 160 years ago, Americans for 3 days slaughtered each other on this ground. 50,000 people died. On July 5th, 1863, the air here was filled with the smells of dead and decomposing bodies, while many volunteers from around the country, most of them women, were organizing makeshift hospitals, including one in a building where we will be meeting, to care for the wounded and for the maimed. Southern women were coming up to disinter from shallow graves the Confederate dead, to take them back home for a final burial. In October, on these grounds began the great work of planning and building a national cemetery. The dedication for that cemetery took place on November 19th, 1863. At the end of that ceremony, President Lincoln spoke for about 2 minutes. And he said that we were a nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all people are created equal. And so, as we gather here, we remember those words and we remember what happened here. As we, in our generation, face our time of testing. And so, yes, we meet on sacred ground. It's what happens when you forget what you're about to say next. As we begin our work together, as Eric and Wilk said, the question is, are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready to meet the challenge that we face? It's a serious question. I'm asking you. I don't have to tell you what we're up against. The rot is deep. The danger is high. Rancor has become the dominant feature of our public life. We're losing our trust in each other. Many of our institutions are getting weaker. Many historians and analysts compare the period that we're in now with the 1850s, a decade that ended in disunion and civil war. So you know this. You know what we're up against. We do not come here to deceive ourselves about the challenge we face. And yet here we are, just as we are. And are we ready? I think we are. I think there are several important reasons why we are. One is that we're growing so fast. Braver Angels began, as my friend Greg knows, in a little church basement in South Lebanon, Ohio, with 22 people. Half of them had just voted for Hillary Clinton, and half of them had just voted for Donald Trump. And we spent a weekend seeing if we could talk to one another rather than about each other. And it was a magical thing. It was really transformative for us, and the thing began to grow. At our first convention, we had about 120 delegates. At our next convention, we had about 250. This convention, we have 671 registered delegates. It's pretty good, huh? We have 100 local alliances around the country, many of them led by people who were in this room. We're active on 75 college campuses. And to me, the most important number is the number 2,500. And that's a hard-earned number, as you all, many of you know, because that is the number of trained, active volunteers who are out there across the country doing the work, carrying out this mission all the time, 5, 10, 15, sometimes more hours a week. These are we're not run by a professional thing. We're a volunteer-led organization. These 2,500 trained people, they're the heart and soul of what we do. I'm looking some of you in the face right now. You have my admiration, my respect, real sense of colleagueship with you. A third reason why I think we're ready is the spirit that's in this room. somebody said there was a sense of, I think it was Will, just the feeling that we get from one another, the feeling I get of commitment, of dedication, of generosity of spirit, of goodwill. It's been the honor of my life to work with you people. And I've never been a part of anything like it before. It's like a kind of a wind, you know? It's like a wind that just blowing through. And I think people are ready for this. There's a heart sickness in the country. And we don't really have to tell people there's a problem. Everybody knows. What we can do is give people an opportunity to take an action, to be a part of the solution. And in this room, we have the spirit, the feeling of movement that I think is a key to our readiness to change the country. So what are some of the tasks that we have? What is the great tasks that we have before us? What are the big things that we need to do together to realize our mission of saving our country? I want to mention just a few there. I don't think will be surprising to you. One is that we continue to grow. If we achieve a rate of growth for the next several years that we've had for the past several years, this college won't hold us. There will be thousands of delegates. If we achieve the same rate of growth for the next several years, thousands, not hundreds of people from around the country convening together, not 200 organizations, but many, many hundreds. I meant to say that of the 672 registered delegates, 145 of you are from other organizations, a part of other organizations from around the country. So that's another reason I think we're ready. We're pivoting from an organization to a social movement. We know that no one organization on its own can really change the country, but we do know that many organizations working together can. And that's what is beginning to happen here. Not just one organization, but many, many. And I see some of the faces out there. And not just any old faces, by the way. I see leaders of county Republican committees, Democratic county Republican committees. I see leaders from city governments who have come here to be a part of this convention. I see senior leaders from the Episcopal Church of America. I see senior leaders from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I see many civic, religious, educational, action organizations from around the country who don't agree on many things but do want to be a part of this solution. So in a way, I think we're ready because this convention, we are making a statement to ourselves and to the nation that we are now a broadly based social movement that is capable of influencing the country. We're not one group, we're many groups, and we're serious about influencing the country. So we can grow, we can develop our movement. I think there are a couple of principles that we really, to me, are very important. One is the principle of political balance. That's reflected in, you see these two people. One red, one blue, 50-50. It's the same out there in this audience, by the way. So we have to keep that. We can't give this up. If we become tilted in one way or the other, we lose ourselves. We can't do our work. Another principle, and we'll be debating this in the platform, is that all voices are included. We don't exclude people because they're too far out, they're too crazy, they don't understand things, they're mean, they upset me. We don't exclude voices. Our principle is that we all have blind spots, and there is no one not worth talking to. No one not worth talking to. Now, I'll just stop with one last thing that I think is a big task that we need to achieve together to realize our mission. And it's just remembering who we are. Remembering who we are. It's possible to forget this. It's possible to lose sight of what we Americans have in common, what makes us one people. It's possible for us to begin to think that really we're just warring groups who hate each other, who don't trust each other, who don't have anything in common, who don't know each other and don't even want to know each other. That's who we are, that we don't have, that nothing binds us together. Sorry, gotta do this. That's not who we are. We are free people who care for one another. And we do not have to fall into the trap, and we can help our nation remember who we are as Americans, what holds us together, what free people who care for one another. Freedom because that's our birthright, caring for one another because without that, our project in freedom cannot work. We cannot continue. So, you want to know what America is? Listen to some familiar words. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Lift every voice and sing. This land was made for you and me. Liberty and justice for all. Oh, I say it plain, America never was America to me. But I swear this oath, America will be. Till selfish gain no longer strain the banner of the free. This is who we are. This is who we can be together and who we still can be. This is what brings us here to Gettysburg. This is our calling to work together in this convention. And this is why we are ready. Thank you.
I think the only thing that could follow that is Micah.
Well, that's a lot. Oh, beautiful, for heroes prove in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, sweet America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. We all sing with me. We'll do it from the top. Do-do-do-do. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet, whose stern impassioned stress a thoroughfare of freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God meant thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in love.
Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for glory tale of liberating strife, when once and twice for man's avail and lavish precious life. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, till Thank you all so much for singing along. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, at least I've been waiting for. Please welcome our artists in residence, Gangsta Grass.
Yeah. Brave Rangers, get up! Yo, Brave Rangers, what's up? Come on, y'all. All for one tonight. Lay down on the paint by the riverside. You got on your own, you're gonna get a ride. Come around in the wagon, you can get inside. Take a dip into the water, and get purified. See me waist deep, get your hands high. Stars shining so bright in the night sky. Feel the energy awakening all the possibilities of whatever you imagine in the mind's eye. Hold on, don't get lost in the stream. I got a rap we cross the stream. All for the ones, it's all for the team. Got a message for the hands, it was brought for the team. This is all we earned, this is a gift, this is worth. Much more than you see, than it seems in the dirt. My earth is the queen, and she be for the bird. And the earth, I believe, she a bird, she a bird. Come on, y'all. All for one. Meet me down by the corn. Let's go. All for one tonight. Brave Angels. Gangsta Grass in the building. Let's get it down, y'all. It's like this. Who's watching stand for battalion? Stand people on the track like a gangster stallion. Put your arms up, wave your hands around it. Make noise, move on my pants around it. We start on the bottom, surround the back in the day, we take the Call every word and see what's saying out of each of the breakers. Return to greatness. This is a man track to a song and players. Black your faces, saying prayers. Niggas on the Hudson, all in Delaware. We don't take what we do once we get there. Put it together and say it through every hemisphere. You know what we're doing? You know better where everybody's gonna want to be, so you better share. Down by the river. Let's go. All for one, all for one. Meet me down by the corn. All for one tonight. Get dressed in the house. Be fair on the film, y'all. Get right on the banjo. Meet me down by the corn. It's all for one tonight. Yeah. That's right, y'all. Brave Angels, what's going on? Welcome to Pennsylvania. We did it all. Back to the work farm. We did it down on time. Gangsta Grass, all right. Meet me down by the river. Come on. All for one, all for one. Meet me down by the corn. It's all for one tonight. Bring on. All for one, all for one tonight. Yeah. Gangsta Grass is in the joint. How y'all doing tonight? We good? We good? My blue people is good? My red people is good? My yellow people is good? All our people is good? All right.
That's it for tonight. We're going to go ahead and have a little bit of a bluegrass jam in the middle of the room here, so we'll see y'all down there in a second.
Give it up for Gangsta Grass. Hey!
Well, that was an amazing, amazing kickoff to our convention. Our artists in residence. Let's give them another round of applause. Absolutely phenomenal. I think there's an opportunity for us tonight to just reflect on everything we've heard, be excited for what's coming tomorrow. I asked you already once, I'll ask you again. Will, are you ready?
I am absolutely ready, but are you ready?
Well, I am ready as well. And with that, we will close today's session. We will recess for a few hours until tomorrow morning, where we will start back up again. We're going to see you back in this room at 8:30
a.m. 8:30, that concludes this meeting.
Thank you all. Good night.